What is up guys, Eric here from Real Film Reviews bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Zac Efron film, We Are Your Friends. In his directorial debut, Max Shepard of Catfish fame decided to make a movie about DJs and what life is like in the modern day LA. Was it good? Was it bad? We Are Your Friends stars Emily Ratajkowski, Zac Efron, and Wes Bentley in their three main leads. We Are Your Friends is the story of DJ Cole Carter, played by Zac Efron, and his rise to fame to be one of the greatest DJs that's ever lived. Now, going into We Are Your Friends, after seeing the first trailer, I actually got pretty excited about this movie. Now, the story was still kind of iffy to me. Max Shepard, it was his first time directing, however from Catfish, I knew who he was and I kind of knew what to expect, and actually in this movie he does a pretty great job of directing. The editing in this movie was really cool, and the direction style was interesting because he comes from a documentary background, so he goes into these sequences on like a trolley shot, but then he'll switch over to just a handheld camera because that's what he's used to shooting on, being a documentarian, and it was really interesting to see those switches in camera use throughout the movie. However, this movie's real strength is the performances, which is kind of surprising, because Efron actually slightly impressed me in this movie. He did not blow me away. He was alright. He did better than I expected in some of the more emotional sequences, because honestly at this point Zac Efron has not proven to be anything other than just a pretty person to put on the screen to me, but I think he is improving his image, and I think this movie will help move him forward. Emily Ratajkowski was kind of whatever. She really wasn't in the movie that long, but the amount that she was in, she did serve a purpose and she was good in it. However, Wes Bentley was really the person that gave the best performance in this movie. He plays sort of this like still famous yet at the same time washed up ex-DJ. Well, he's not even an ex-DJ, he still is a DJ, but he's like an alcoholic. But at the same time he plays that like functioning alcoholic role very well, while at the same time sort of being a mentor to Zac Efron's character, and he was really good in the movie and really impressed me. This movie also touches on a subject that some people don't think is real music, which is being a DJ, creating beats on your computer with audio that you've procured in some way, and you make the music that way. Some people don't think it's real music. I think that this movie helps prove to those people that a lot more work goes into it than just clicking a play button or just throwing a few sounds together in GarageBand and turning out a beat, because it is hard work to be a DJ, to come up with those beats and to make them good, and I think this movie shows that in a good light. The last couple things about this movie that I want to touch on that were very good: the soundtrack to this movie was really cool, a lot of EDM music that really helped feel like the movie was moving forward. And the other thing is Efron and his friends in the movie, his like crew that he has, they actually all felt like they were real friends in the movie. Like, it didn't feel like a fake relationship to me, it felt like these people really existed and really had known each other, in my opinion. Now, the one thing I wanted to get from this movie, because in the trailer you see it in a small little part, is somebody talks about how the guy that made Instagram sold it for $400 million. Now, this to me showed me that I thought this movie was going to be about what our generation believes, what my generation believes. Everyone in my generation, or the generations close to it, we all truly believe that we can be great. We truly believe that we can be the person that will change the world, that will do something that will always be remembered for. Not everyone, but a lot of us do. We've been raised in a society where we think this is a real thing and a real tangible opportunity that we have in this world. And this movie, I was really hoping, would kind of give some ideas to people that have that mindset and show like, it might not turn out that way. And there's certain scenes in this movie that get that right. There's scenes in this movie that understand, look, you may have a dream and that dream is awesome, but there's a solid chance that it won't happen for you, because you're not going to end up being a millionaire. You're not going to end up being crazy famous. But the thing is our generation has this ideal that all of us can be amazing. And I wanted this movie to show that maybe that's not true, but that's the way we think about it no matter what anyone tells us. Sadly, this movie did not do that though. There were a few sequences in it that did have those nuggets of like real generational strife that we as a generation are going through as a time right now, but none of it really like coexisted throughout the whole story. There were just certain small sequences that felt that way, which kind of was upsetting because I was really hoping this movie could be like a real thing for our generation. The other cons to this movie is there's a few scenes that are really weird, like directed very strangely, but they were kind of visually cool, but just in terms of the story itself and what was happening in the movie didn't really make that much sense. And the other thing is this movie just needed more meat on its bones. It didn't have enough. It just felt like there was a lot of montages to EDM music and Zac Efron running, or making a beat, but we're not hearing the beat, we're hearing EDM music that's put onto the soundtrack and seeing Zac Efron like hit beat buttons and do the mixing and everything, and it felt like there needed to be more story there, because there were moments in this movie where you just wouldn't get like a real backstory of something, and then something just happened, and then you were just supposed to accept it and be like, that's cool, because that's good for that character, so I'm happy, I don't really care what happened that got him to that point. But I was intrigued by that, and this movie was only an hour and a half, so they really had more runtime to work with if they wanted to, but I guess they're the professionals, but in my opinion, it needed some more story and a little less running and jogging to EDM music. Overall, I don't think We Are Your Friends went as deep as it could have into the generational issues that actually surround the people that are in their 20s and early 20s and late teens right now in thinking that we all really are special, but I think it still gave you little parts of that that were good. However, as a whole, it didn't. The story was okay, it needed some more meat to it, and in general the performances were really good, but the direction was cool and the editing was cool, but it was just the story. The script just felt like it needed more to it. There were so many things about this movie that were satisfactory or good, but the thing is the script did not lend to the fact that these people were doing a good job, or that this was an interesting sequence, or that this was a cool idea, and it just kind of cut it short and kind of downplayed it almost, which I thought was kind of upsetting. In the end, We Are Your Friends didn't exactly give me what I wanted out of the movie, but it was still not a horrible movie. I'm gonna give We Are Your Friends a B-. I really wish We Are Your Friends would have turned out to be the movie that told the story of my generation in a way. It had the right director, it had the right star, but it just didn't work out based on the script. And it's sad, but I'm sure we will get that movie sooner or later. However, I can still recommend seeing We Are Your Friends. If you're a fan of Zac Efron or a fan of EDM music, I would recommend checking this movie out. If you don't like either of those things, don't go see it, because this movie's kind of middle of the road. I don't think it's amazing, but I also don't think it's a horrible film. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of We Are Your Friends, and share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and I hope to see you guys later.